Are you ready to work with words? Here we go. So here is the pen that we are going to recreate. I'll move over to the one we've been working on. There it is there. And I'll simply go to the left-hand toolbar and I'll choose my artistic text tool. I'll bring it to my page and I'll type my first line. Pretty tiny, right? I'm going to press and hold Option and scroll in so I can see it a little bit better. And I can simply grab my Move tool and make that bigger, just like that. Or I can go to my context toolbar right in the top, and I can choose the size that I want those words to be, or I can double click right inside and type in the exact number that I want that size to be. Okay, and then I can also change the color. Now I can do that in the context toolbar here, or the easier way is to go over to my brand colors, and with the solid circle in front, this is called the fill circle, I will go ahead and change that to white. Okay, now I'm going to press and hold Option or Alt if you're on a PC and scroll out, and I'll press V to grab my Move tool, and I want to copy this 4 times. So I will simply press and hold Option or Alt and drag and drop so that I have the 4 lines of words that I want. Now I can simply click in each one and type what I want it to say. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and work with these words and make them nice and big. I want them to fill the space. So I'm going to start with the word create. And this font is just fine. I'll go ahead and make that nice and big and center it. I know it's centered by the green line that pops up in the middle of the page. And then how to, I want to make a little bit bigger. And I want to line that up to the left. See how the green line pops up to the left? There it is right there. But I want it to go up just a tad bit more too. Now I can press and hold Shift and drag it up, and that'll keep it nice in line. Or I can also use the arrow keys right on my keyboard to move it up in small increments. Okay, next up, I will work with the printables word. Now this one, I want to change the font. So I will go up to the context toolbar and use the drop down for the fonts. Now, right now I'm in my favorites. If I move to all, that gives me all the fonts that are loaded on my computer. As you can see, some have a solid heart next to them. Those are the ones that I have chosen to be my favorite so that I don't have to scroll through all of these fonts every time. There's also your recents, the ones used on this page, and then I'll move to my favorites and I'll choose the font that I want. And I'll choose that one. Okay, and now I'll go ahead and make that word as big as the word create. And you can see my green lines popping up there so that I know that I'm right where I need to be. Press and hold Shift and move that up into place. Okay, and then the same thing with this last line. I'm going to align it to the left, and then I am going to drag it out so that it's the same length as the words above it. All right, and just like that, pretty easy, right? I've got my words. I'll go ahead and change the color of the word printables, and I'm going to, with a solid circle in front, choose my branded yellow color. And I think I want to make that bold too. So I can do that in the context toolbar simply by pressing the B. All right, next up, I will go ahead and add my blog URL. So again, I can go to my artistic text tool, bring that to my page. And do you see how big that cursor is? It's because it's using the last thing that I did. So I'll go ahead and change that size so that it's not humongous when I'm trying to type it. And I'll type in my blog URL. Now it's so small I can hardly see what I'm typing. So I'll go ahead and double click that, and I want that to be white. And I'll choose the font that I like to use. And then I will change the size. And I don't want that to be bold, so I'll click that B to make it unbold, grab my Move tool, and I'll center that right at the bottom of my page. Okay, and just like that, we've added our words that we need on our Pinterest pin. And next up, I'll show you how I add a graphic.